Hello there, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Nirav. In this session, I'll be doing Elliott Wave analysis for the S&P's 500. I'll be looking at possible Elliott Wave patterns and targets for this market. Before we move any further, let's have a look at what we discussed in the last dedicated video that I made for the S&P's 500. So in the last video, which is posted here documented here on my website 50s/forecast accuracy, you can check the track record for 2018, 2017 and 16. All of them are mentioned here with what my view was and what really transpired after that. So last video was on December 17, 2018. The target minimum was 2478. Basically, I discussed two hypotheses. Both were suggesting sideways, then bearish or straight bearish. And if you want to check the video, you can click on this link. The video link will take you directly to the timestamp where the actual analysis has been discussed, which is over here around target minimum was 2478, as you can see on the screen. So let's now look at the actual chart. 17th of December 2018 is over here, and the target minimum was 2478.3, which will be somewhere over here. So that's the move from 17th of December, which is this point to this line. So that was the minimum downside expectation. Obviously it went much lower, and I would say that it worked out pretty well. So let's move on to the actual chart now and see what the market is doing as of now. So before doing that, let's have a quick look at the complete count or the bigger picture. So as you can see on the screen, we have the count starting from this point of reference, which is around 10th of February 2016. The price level is around 1807. We have a series of wave 1 and wave 2. For those of you not much familiar with the Elliott Wave, I'll just like to specify that in Elliott Wave, the market movements is something in the formation of 1 and 2s. That is to say that any upward movement will go on in the formation of 5 waves, which are labeled as the simple numbers. So that's simply what the Elliott wave theory basically states, and in this particular case we have this double bracket 1 followed by 2. So this is our 1 followed by 2, then this will be there will be a double bracket 3, obviously in the sequence somewhere over there it will be, and the double bracket 3 itself, or the internals of that double bracket 3, will have 5 waves inside of them. So if this is our double bracket 3, then if we magnify this and find out the internals, then that should again look like 5. So if we keep counting it inside and inside, we keep seeing a fractal nature of 1s and 2s and 1s and 2s and 1s and 2s and so on and so forth. That's what the Elliott wave theory is all about. As such, we are currently in a series of 1s and 2s, which as of now is in this bracketed circled 4, sorry. So we are in this series of 1s and 2s, which is currently in a wave 4, and wave 4, as you know, is a corrective structure, which could be a zigzag flat triangle or complex structure. In this particular case, I'm thinking that possibly this might be a triangle sort of structure that we will see as the time progresses. But within that triangle structure, okay, let me just clarify what a triangle structure is as well while we are at it. So this triangle structure started from this point onwards. This will be our point of reference for the discussion of this triangle. And a triangle is basically a 5-wave structure in which each wave is a series of 3 waves. A zigzag sort of move, or sometimes can be flat. I mean, basically a corrective structure, that's all there is inside of a triangle. First leg down is called the A wave. Recall, this is our point of reference or our starting point, which on the actual chart is this point. The first leg down will be called an A wave, the second leg up is called a B, third is called a C, and D, and so on so forth. We have what will be called ultimately a triangle complete. Once the wave E is complete, we see an upward direction in this market. That is a continuation of the previous trend, since the previous trend in S&P so far has been up. And if this count is correct and this wave 4 is a triangle, once it is complete, roughly let's say like this, then we should see an upward movement in this market as per the rough analysis we had over here on the right hand side. So that is the rough price action I expect in this market if this is a triangle pattern. Other possibilities do exist, but overall basis there is not much difference in the price action, at least from a short-term perspective. Let's look at the lower time frames to see what is going on. Switching back to 4-hour and starting our counts from the starting point of wave B, which is the end of wave A of the triangle. So as you recall, I told the structures inside of triangle are corrective. Mostly they are zigzag formations or double or triples maybe sometimes, but mostly in the zigzag formation they are. So let's see what counts we have. H3 is a highly low probability count, so we'll discuss that at last. Let's start with H1 or the red count, and the red count is let me first draw the count on the right hand side, and then we can discuss it on the actual chart as well. So the red count basically suggests that we have a wave 1 up followed by wave 2 down, and then we have the wave 3 which is still continuing. After that we will have a wave 4, and then we will have a wave 5, which should complete our first leg up. We can call that as a wave A. After that we should have a series of corrective waves or one corrective wave, which will be called wave B. And after the same is complete, we should see another leg up as the wave C. So that's the basic gist. Now let's just discuss this wave A part up till here, that is. So if this A is continuing to the upward direction, then it will have obviously 5 waves, because it is what we think as an impulse. And since the impulse has 5 waves, we can recognize them on the left hand side of this market. On the left hand side, as you can see, we have this point as our wave 1, this as our wave 2. So complete 1, complete 2, and the wave 3 is still continuing. Wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and wave 5. Since wave 3 will have 5 waves inside of it, as per the fractal nature of Elliott waves, we can say that this is roughly what it will look like. And then again have wave 1, a 2, a 3, 4, 5, which I have just now marked over here as 1, 2, and a 3. Triangle wave 4, A, B, C, D, E, and then the last one is 5. So once this wave 5 is complete, we can mark that as a 3. Should be seeing a corrective structure, and then after that an impulse. So the overall gist is that we are in sort of a last part of this wave 5. Once that is complete, we should see a corrective structure, which generally should take us to the bottom of this wave 4, which is, if I'm right, the price level of somewhere around 2621. So what we are expecting is a reversal, a little bit price movement above, and then a reversal, and the reversal we are expecting is near till the level of 2623 to 2621. What is this? Let's check that on the magnified chart. So the reversal we are expecting is till 2613.3 and 2630 to 2613.3. Basically the area or the zone of wave 4 of 1 lesser degree is the most probable target for the next wave 4, or generally the most probable target, I should say. That's our hyper 1, and there's a sub variation in hyper 1 which I should discuss here as the wave 2. If I were to place this wave 2 over here instead of over here, then saying that this wave structure is a flat sort of structure, more like 1 up A, B, C for flat, or more correctly a running flat, then this wave 2 will be complete over here, 1 will be complete over here, and seeing on the rough count we can say that 1 is done, 2 is done, circle degree, then this wave 3, circle 3 will have, say what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, completing the wave 3 circle degree, and then this will be a 4 as a triangle. This will be our last wave. And the only difference between the variation I discussed previously and this variation would be that in that case we will see a correction lower than this wave 4 low. That would be basically 50-60 retracement of this entire movement, this whole price action. So that would be at least lower than 2621 2613. Yeah, 2613 was our level that we discussed. So both hypo 1, sub variation 1 and variation 2 are suggesting downward movement. Let's discuss hypo 2, which is green count, and this green count is suggesting a complex formation, and this complex formation is a WXYXZ, or what we call basically a triple zigzag. This is our first up, which we will call as our wave W. This is our wave X, and this will be our Y. Just to be clear, all these structures will have 3 waves inside of them because these are corrective structures, and that's why it's called a triple zigzag. Now that's a rough outlook of what a triple zigzag would look like. Let's compare it on the actual chart. On the actual chart, as you can see, we have the the W over here, X over here, and then this is our Y, again an X. Recall, since all the structures inside of this WXYXZ are corrective, the wave X is the triangle over here, and this will be our wave Z. Now obviously wave Z will again have 3 waves inside of it, so in that sense we have possibly completed the 1 2 3 4 5 for A of Z, followed by a correction for wave B of Z, and it should be followed by another leg up for C of Z, completing the Z, which should give a deeper retracement again, which should be more than the 2613 level that we discussed previously. So thus far we have discussed 2 hypos. Both are suggesting that a little bit of movement to the upside might be remaining, and after that we should see a minimum movement till 2613 or lower. So minimum 2613 or lower. We should look at possible lower targets later on. Let's first have a discussion of the last hypo, which is H3. So H3 yellow is a low probability count. I don't think it's the one getting followed, but it could be. So if it is, then again we will have the possibility that this is just what a wave A to the upside, followed by wave B, and then a wave C is going up. This circled wave A will be our first A, as mentioned over here on the right. Circled wave B is our second corrective structure, and should be followed by an impulse for the wave C. Now this wave C will have 5 waves inside of it, which will look something like this, which we can then mention as 1 2 3 4 and 5 because of the fractal nature of Elliott waves again. Now if we are to discuss on the actual chart, we can see that we have already labeled the bracket 1, the bracket 2, the bracket 3, the bracket 4 and the bracket 5. So overall the idea remains still the same, some more upside followed by down move. Again, if in this count also, if we take the whole structure of A complete over here but B not over here and here, then that would mean the impulse to the upside is already complete. 1 2 3 4 5, and that's why I have not considered that count. So basically the gist remains the same, some more upside movement and then a leg down. Let's have a look at what this some more upside movement can be. Now recall we have 2 scenarios. First is that this is moving up after the wave 4 triangle as an impulse. In that case scenario, we should look at it on the 15-minute chart, sort out that impulse maybe. Now if that's an impulse, then we have 1 2 let me see 1 2 3 4 5 for 1 up, down for 2, and 1 2 3 4 5 up for 3, down for 4. So that's our wave 4 currently. I can roughly label it with, let's say, some other color. 2 1 2 3 4 3 4 2 1 2 3 4. Let's use this bluish color. That's our 1 up, 2 down, and 3 up, 4 is still continuing. That means minimum 1 more leg up is remaining. Now the minimum 1 more up leg can be given out, or the proper target can be given out if we had the wave 4 low in play. Now we do not have it, so we will roughly estimate a low just to give a quick rough idea. Generally wave 4 will go to either 23.6 or 38.2. It's already gone till 23.6, so we'll just assume that it might continue and go down a little bit more lower to 38.2. And if that's the case, then we can measure up the wave 1 and project it from the end of wave 4, right? And this will give our target 1, which will be 1:1 level. which in this case is 2707, much lower, not so we can't consider that. We'll consider 161.8 first probable level. Second probable level would be 0 to 3 from 4, which will give us 38.2, 61.8, 2735. So yes, 2717 is a probable likely zone for reversal. The next level is at 2735, the second likely zone for reversal, and obviously it can go higher, but these are the most probable zones, so that I have already marked. But just keep in mind that once this wave 4 low is in play, we can have a more precise understanding of what the targets can be. And just to be more clear, the structure is the most important thing we should look for. So as this market progresses, we will be tracking the internals of this new forming wave 5. So that's our rough view of that. Now let's have a look at the hyper 2. In the case of hyper 2, we are saying that this is not progressing just as an impulse but as an ABC, because you recall that was a triple zigzag case in which we were moving up for the wave Z, right? And in the wave Z we have A wave up and B wave down and then C wave up. So in that case this will be just let me show that on the rough chart. In that case, from this point on, which is this low of 2638.3, we have what, an A, a B and a C, because that's a wave Z, which is a corrective structure. So 1 2 3 4, or we can say 1 2 3 4 5 correction. Just a second. Okay, that's the low. Now that makes sense. So we have say what, 1 2 1 2 3 4 3 4 5. So that will be, let's say, our wave A somewhere over there, and then correction for wave B, and then this like Z up as a 1 2 3 4 5. Maybe an impulse, maybe an ending diagonal, remains to be seen. In that case, what we can really, or the most likely thing we can do is draw out the length, find out the length of wave A and project it from the end of wave B, and that basically means that we will have more upside before the expected correction. Now that more upside again is not known, but we can again form a rough outlook of what that can be. Let's just do that. Assuming that this will complete our wave A over here, we can say that wave B will have 50-60 retracement, which should be then followed by wave C, which will take it to the upward direction. And let's have a look at a rough 50-60 retracement from the wave 4's low. That is the wave A, coming around 2686 or 2675. So what we will do is we will project the 1:1 from here. That's our 1, and 1:1 will take it to, which is this level of 2783 something. So basically the upper part of the white resistance zone is what we are thinking can be seen if the triple zigzag correction or the hyper 2 is being followed. So that's about it in this. Let me just conclude again, because I know most of you guys might be a bit confused. And yeah, one more thing, these videos are sort of discussing a multiple number of possibilities, so try to watch them multiple number of times so that you get a clear understanding of the markets. And yes, of course, if you are drawing your own charts alongside, then that would be the best way to go along. Also, one more thing, do watch these videos in 1080p, because the black background makes it hard to understand what's going on in 720 or any lower quality. So do make use of the highest quality possible on YouTube. So again, 1 2 3 4 5, H1 was suggesting that we will see an end over here once this wave 5 is formed, right, which was minimum 2734, a reversal. So that's our first reversal zone, 2734 something, if H1 is followed. However, if H2 is followed, we can see higher levels, and those higher levels were, I think, roughly around, let me check that again, we were taking till the end of here and projecting it from the end of the channel. Yeah, so they were somewhere near 2770. I guess they were higher. 3 A, B, C. Yeah, they were higher because the low would be at this bottom or somewhere. So let's just say 2780 to 2808. Yep, that's a very wide level. But basically what I'm trying to say over here is that the general outlook of the market is some more upside and then a big correction down. A better or easier way to figure out when the correction has started is the break of this red channel. But keep in mind that channels do get relegated now and then, and a break below it might as well be a false trigger. So any positions made should be made considering that fact. And the best thing is that the best thing that can guide us while we are trading is the structure of the market rather than any channel or anything else. So I would say that that's about for our two counts. Concluding it, H1 is suggesting that we are going to see a little bit upside movement till 2734 maybe, and then correction to the downward side. H2 is suggesting that we are again going to see an upward movement till 2780 up till the high point of this white resistance zone, which is 2807. So that's the part where we are expecting the up move till in H2, and after that correction. H1 was till 2734 and then a correction. And let's have a look at the rough targets for the correction while we are at it. Obviously keep in mind all these things will change as we see the ends of these waves. None of these waves have completed. We don't even have the circle wave for complete yet. So the ends of these waves are important. Anyway, so if we assume that H1 is being followed, then we can take a retracement for the whole H1, mark 50-60 level for our possible target, which will be this zone. If we consider that H2 is being followed, then we will take the retracement of the whole move, which will be up till maybe let's say 2807, which is the higher part of this white resistance zone. And if 2807 we see a reversal, then we will again do the same thing, mark the 50-60 retracement zone, which will give us this price zone. So now that we have done all this analysis, hypothesis, and theoretical analysis, basically we have this possible support zone where this market can reverse up to if this count is being followed, and it's a zone of say about 2570 till 2489. Just keep in mind there was a sub-variation of hypo 1 which was suggesting that we may have one more wave 4 and then a wave 5 and then down. So keep that in mind. And okay, the counts have shifted to the right on their own. I guess that happens sometimes when you change the time frame a lot. That's a problem though. So anyways, the hypo 1 is suggesting upside and then down, hypo 2 is suggesting upside and then down. We just discussed the upside targets, the downside targets as well. It's more of a it was more of a theoretical discussion, and the trade setup would be to wait for and check out the price movement in this price zone, in this last move till from the current level of 2697. So that's about for this discussion. If you found it helpful, definitely subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video to others who might find it useful as well. And if you are interested in learning more on Elliott Wave, then you can check out my courses offered on Elliott Wave. Video course and one-to-one classes are also available. You can go to the home page. I will provide the link in the description and check out the video course or the training programs. that's about it for this discussion, guys, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one. Thank you.